Hey there, I'm your host Strateghost, and I'd like to welcome you to my brand new strategy gaming channel for Accelerator. Today I'm kicking things off with Sid Meier's Civilization VI and a series called How to Beat Deity. I'm going to give you strategies, tips, and tricks to beat the game with specific leaders on the highest difficulty, Deity difficulty, and I'll play through the game to show you how it's done. Today I'll be playing Teddy Roosevelt and leading America. We'll talk about his abilities once we start up the game, but first let's run through our settings. We're going to be playing on Deity difficulty, of course, standard game speed, continents map type, this is the standard map type, huge map size with 12 players, and disaster intensity 3. I like this disaster intensity because it lets us get all the kinds of disasters we can see, but it won't occur all that often, or not as often as 4. If we click to advanced settings, I've already picked a few what I like to call rivals. So I picked Victoria, leading England, for obvious reasons, Russia, because of the Cold War, and Canada, because they're nearby. Now, in addition to those themes, I also picked these leaders because of their competing mechanic elements. So Teddy's good on his own home continent, Victoria's good on faraway continents, and Peter and Wilfrid Laurier both are good for a culture victory the same way we are. So we'll have some competition in this game. Everything else is a standard setting. I'm going to have some random leaders so we get some randomness in the game. The only other thing I changed was the start position. I turned to balance just so we could have a nice balanced game. Everything else should be the default settings. So let's start the game.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. And so it is upon your broad shoulders, Theodore Roosevelt, to charge forth and lead your people on their great adventure. Use your military might to give the peoples of your homeland the square deal they so desperately deserve. Surely, you will raise America into the limelight and attract visitors from across the oceans just to see your lands. Bully for you, Mr. President.
Yes, bully for us. Alright, we can already start to see Teddy's abilities. Roosevelt Corollary, units get extra combat strength on their home continent. +1 appeal to all tiles in a city with a national park, gain the Rough Rider unique unit when they research the rifling technology. So the combat strength bonus on our continent is good at the start and throughout the game. It's going to let us defend well, it's going to let us conquer our whole continent if we choose to. The +1 appeal, though, is the main perk to Teddy Roosevelt as far as victory conditions are concerned. The +1 appeal in tiles, 2 tiles in city with the national park is going to give us the opportunity to build more national parks once we have one, and to have stronger national parks to give us more tourism for the culture victory. And the Rough Rider is also going to help us later in the game. We can see more about our abilities now. Alright, turn on some options here. In fact, I think I need to turn on all of these labels as well. I like to play with the labels. I think it looks good. Let's finish talking about Teddy's abilities here. So the Roosevelt Corollary. Yeah, we talked about that. So I've already mentioned the National Park bonus to the Roosevelt Corollary. Now the other key to strategy unique is the Film Studio, a building that gives +100% tourism pressure from the city towards other civilizations in the modern era. This, combined with the Roosevelt Corollary, is where Teddy's late-game culture victory potential really comes in. If we look at the other abilities, they're nice, but they're less crucial to strategy. So Founding Fathers, all diplomatic policy slots in the current government are converted to wildcard slots, and you get +1 diplomatic favor per turn for every wildcard slot in their government. This is a nice bonus. It's good to get wildcard slots. They're generally stronger than diplomatic policy cards. And the +1 diplomatic favor is nice. It allows you to get lots of diplomatic favor even if you're conquering city-states or conquering other people, fighting, and so making fewer friends, fewer allies. It's a nice bonus, and you can use it to go for a diplomatic victory, but today we'll be going for a culture victory, which I'd say is the standard path for Teddy. We also have the Rough Rider. The Rough Rider gets culture for kills on their capital's continent, which is great, especially to catch up in culture, as you'll see, and plus 10 combat strength when fighting on hills, which is just a nice bonus. Finally, we have the P-51 Mustang. It's a replacement for the fighter. It gains 5 combat strength against fighter aircraft, has plus 2 flight range, and gains 50% experience. It's a good unit, or it would be if aircraft were more common among the AI. Unfortunately, the AI don't build very many aircraft, so you don't get many chances to use it. And the fighters are mostly defensive, so if you've got that culture victory locked in and people are trying to swarm you, that's the time where you want to use the P-51 Mustang. Otherwise, if you're building aircraft, you might as well be building bombers, as they're going to be better on the offense. So what's the strategy? Like I said, we want our key to victory is in national parks, and for that, there's a single wonder that's going to help us out the most. If we go down all the way to Steel, oh, that's too far. All the way to Steel, we'll see the Eiffel Tower, which gives 2 appeal in all the tiles in our civilization. It must be built on flat land and adjacent to the city center. So this is our goal. We want to get that wonder. It's going to help our national parks get really, really good. So at the start, instead of focusing on culture like a lot of civs are, I actually want to focus on science. I want to get to Steel as quickly as possible, get the Eiffel Tower, and along the way, get enough culture and so on, and faith to make national parks. Along the way to Steel, we also get our Rough Rider. So if we focus on science, play the science game right, we can get the Rough Rider, then we can go on the offensive on our continent, gain culture to make up the focus on science earlier, and that will help us catch up to where we need to be in the culture game. After getting Steel and working on the Eiffel Tower, then we want to prioritize radio to get to the film studio to boost the tourism of all our national parks. But at the very beginning, we want to make sure we get lots of faith. You don't need the faith right at the beginning. You don't have to go for a religion to get naturalists. But I find that if I'm going to be trying to get faith throughout the game anyway, it helps to have a religion. Mostly because I think I want to go for the choral music belief, which gives culture to shrines and gives culture equivalent to the faith of shrines and temples. So that too is going to keep us in the game. We'll be getting lots of faith. We'll be able to use that if we need to say, purchase some great people. But most importantly, we'll be saving it up for national parks. And if we get the choral music belief, we'll be able to boost our culture along the way, even though we're not prioritizing theater squares and we're sort of prioritizing science instead. So that's the game plan. Why don't we get to it? First, we got to see where we're settled, or to settle. This isn't a fantastic location. We do have a few nice tiles around us. We're close to the Cocoa. You could, in theory, move up to the coast. You would have this reef here, which would be nice for a science. We don't seem to have any mountains around us. There are some jungles. If we settled here, we'd get a +1 to a campus from these rainforests. Same for these 2 rainforests. We could put a commercial hub there to get a +1 there. But we might just want to use this as a campus spot. If we knew that there was a rainforest here, that would definitely settle it for us. But I think this is going to be our best option in any case. So why don't we move away from the Cocoa a little bit, settle up here. We'll get some sea resources, which will be strong. Our explorer is naming the continent America. Brilliant. Okay, so it's not rainforest like we would have liked, but it's still going to be okay. We're still going to be able to put a district right next to the campus here. I'll put a pin there for starters. We'll be able to put a harbor right here, actually, will be perfect to give the +2 adjacency from the reef and the +1 from these 2 districts. So then we'll be off to a good start. Alright, I've already used the warrior this round to explore. Let's keep going. You might have already noticed that the game looks a little bit different than yours. That's because I'm using a few mods. None of these mods affect gameplay, they just affect how the game looks. So first, I'm going to use a better espionage screen, a better trade screen. They just give information a little bit better. The graphics of the game might look different than you're used to because I'm using the semi-official environment skin Sid Meier's Civilization that Firaxis released, and finally I'm using Sukatrak's simple UI adjustments. Like I said, these won't affect gameplay, they just affect how the game looks. You don't have to play with them. Alright, so now it's time to decide what to build first. A scout is usually pretty strong. I might also recommend a warrior. In fact, I think I'm going to go for a warrior. It's just a bit safer. You can still use the warriors to explore, but it's going to protect us if we find any barbs. And right now we're working the rainforest tile, which is good. Tech-wise, if we place this campus, we're going to need to mine, so we might as well go for mining anyway to get rid of that forest. And then we'll go to the next turn. I'm just going to be sending my warrior out and around in a circular pattern just to see what's out there. Okay, we've still got more coast. Luckily we are on fresh water here, so we have lots and lots of housing to start with. Particularly 6 housing. I'm going to assume some familiarity with the basic concepts of the game, so I'm not going to explain housing. If in the future you would like more information, you can just leave a comment, let me know what you'd like to hear about, and I'd be happy to explain more about it. Alright, we found the Ohio River and the Rio... Not Grand, it's the Rio something, we'll find out. Alright, we're working another tile. And that's the one I would have picked, so that's good. We'll send this warrior around the other direction. And we could already build a settler. I do like to get out a settler early, but I think first I'll build a slinger. If we find a barbarian camp, we'll be able to use our slinger to get a kill for this boost to archery. I'm going to be trying to get all the boosts I can all along the way, especially on this lower route to get to first rifling and then steel. And the boosts just take a while to get used to. I've played the game a lot, so I already know how to get most of them. Sometimes you won't be able to get one in a reasonable amount of time, and then it's best to just hard research the tech. Alright, so we have what looks like Brazil here, the Rio Negro. I just heard the goody hut, there it is, so I'll go for the goody hut first, and then I'll go discover Brazil. We earned experience, we'll be able to promote that warrior next round. And we found some desert. Next turn. The Potomac River here.
When you find yourself in a hole.
And we got mining. Alright, we found a mountain, that's a good thing. I'm not sure how closely we want to settle to the desert. What do we want next? I think we will take... I want to get a builder out, I want to turn these into farms to get the food going, and I want to chop that down. I think I'll go for animal husbandry, just to see if we have any horses around us and to get us closer to archery just in case we need it. I'm going to promote this warrior with the battle cry promotion, which is great early promotion against all sorts of units. And we found a cod. We were not the first to meet them, so we didn't get an envoy. But it was nice to find them nonetheless, and their mission is to trigger an inspiration for foreign trade. That's a really luck-dependent one. It's to find a second continent. So we'll do it if we can, but if not, no biggie. We'll always be able to send more envoys to Akkad later. And we would like that. Their suzerain bonus is melee and anti-cavalry units attacks do full damage to city's walls. That'll be great on the offensive. And since it looks like... Oh, apparently we already found a second continent. We just have to get our warrior over there. Great. But it looks like Brazil is on our continent. We'll probably want to take them out. The plan with Teddy is to take over the whole continent, have as much land as possible so we can put down national parks. And here's Brazil.
Bom dia.
An honor to meet you. We'd love to sample your hospitality. So we just boosted writing. If we keep moving, we're going to discover Europe, and we'll get that boost for Akkad. Still haven't found any barb camps. There we go, we found Catherine. Another culture contender. We'd also love to sample your hospitality. Now let's move our warrior up. We want to see what's in this fog up here. And we still need to get to...
It is not wisdom, but authority.
Okay, what do I want to put in? What I was going to say is we still need to get our warrior over to Europe to see it for ourselves in order to get credit for finding it. I don't have an immediate source of faith, but I would like a pantheon, so I'm going to put in God King, and I'm going to get that because I don't have any recon units out anyway. And I'm going to choose foreign trade. Hopefully we get that second continent, and that'll put us faster to early empire so we can spam out some settlers. It'll also give us time to improve enough tiles to get the boosted craftsmanship. I usually like to go with foreign trade to start unless there's a good reason to go for craftsmanship, like if I want to produce early military units quickly. And I'll keep exploring with all my units. Got some furs down here. And what to build next. Now I want to get that settler out. I'll probably send it as close to Brazil as I can get it. Maybe settle on these furs. Okay, we found some barbarians. That's good. Because we can use our slinger to attack them to get the boost. There we go. Foreign trade, an envoy from Akkad. Lots of good things happening. And we also cleared the land, so now we can send a trade route to there if we want to. We'll try to do the same for Lyon. Alright, narrowing in on this barbarian slinger. Oh, there's a spearman. That's a bit more powerful than we want to deal with right away, so I think I'll retreat this a little bit. We'll charge at it with our warrior. And one of these two furs might be the best place to settle at the start with our first, well, non-initial settler. Alright, now we cleared the land, we can trade with Leon if we want to. So I'll probably bring the warrior back down the way he came and deal with the barbarian nuisance out here.
If there are no dogs in heaven.
Alright, we do have some horses next to us. That'll be great. We'll definitely want to hook those up as soon as we can. And they'll be attacking into wood, so I say we give that guy a hit. Alright, we'll get those horses on the next turn. That's perfect, and then we'll work those for more food. Next, just to be safe, I'd like to start working towards archery. Hopefully we can get the boost for it, just so we can build some archers if need be, because the Deity AI does start with significantly stronger forces than us, and we don't want to get attacked. We can build a military, at least for deterrence, if for nothing else. Alright. Gonna kill this slinger. Try to get the barb camp before Brazil does. I'll keep attacking the spearmen. I'll be able to promote. Keep moving this warrior back. Next turn. We're working the horseman. And surprise, surprise, the spearman runs away. But I want to take the barb camp, so I'll move there. Hopefully, he doesn't suicide onto my warrior, so I can get the slinger kill. Oh, well, that's that. At least I can come get this goody hut. Ah, perfect. One door closes, another one opens. So I'll promote him before I move him over. Give him the volley promotion. Pick up that goody hut. Bonus to mysticism. And I think I'm going to buy a builder as soon as possible, which I believe will be at 200 gold. Yeah, I'll just buy a builder. The scout is not going to deal with this settler, so I feel comfortable moving it out. But I will move this warrior back to escort it, and I'll block out a cod from taking my barbarian village outpost. Alright, so I said I was going to buy a builder. That is what I intend to do. First, I'd like to get more military out, so I think I'd like another slinger while they're cheap before they turn into archers.
Dovreste prestare attenzione a...
Thanks for the advice. I could have sent them delegations to keep them happier, but I'm America. I don't really care if my neighbors are happy with me. Wants to try to soften it up. I definitely want to settle this land, but I think I want to settle close to Brazil first, just to guarantee access to that land. So it's smart to settle on luxury resources at the start. You get those luxuries right away without improving it. Also, camps aren't especially strong improvements compared to other things, so that's why I would be happy to settle on these luxuries, which are also on rivers. Then again, I could also settle on a plains. Plains hills have the unique feature of giving your city one extra production in comparison to the normal one. It's the only tile that gives this bonus, so it's nice. And that would put us next to this mountain, within campus range of this mountain, with 4 rainforest tiles around it, for a total of +3 adjacency, which is kind of what we're shooting for. We're shooting for +3 adjacency because when we get to the Enlightenment, there's this card that will give you Rationalism, which will give you extra science for high pop cities, 10 or higher, and for districts that have at least a +3 adjacency. So that's the magic number to shoot for. It's also just a great healthy number of science at the start. So I probably will settle there and use these 2 good tiles. It'll also put us close to this spices, which is another good tile. And then we'll be able to settle along the river later. If we settle here, we'll still be able to settle on one of these 2 tiles as well. So I'm not worried about running out of room here. So that's where we'll go. So I'll pin that. I'll pin that as my campus. And then we'll keep going. Yeah, announcement means we're probably going to go to war soon. And we have another barb camp down there. Perfect, looks like I'm going to get the kill here. And I'll probably get the kill here. And bronze working, excellent. Great. Everything's coming up Strateghost. Move on to our city location. And we already have enough area score to guarantee a normal age. We don't have to worry about loyalty.
May the forces of evil become confused while your arrow is on it.
And we didn't quite get that slinger out. Instead, it's already working towards an archer, which is great. Now we only have 2 turns until we get that archer. In all the excitement of battle, I forgot to buy my builder, but that's okay. We'll buy it now, no time like the present. And I'd like to farm the wheat, put a pasture on the horses. That'll give us 2 boosts, 1 to irrigation, 1 to horseback riding. Now it's definitely time to go for pottery, go for riding, put our campus down. I'll move this guy back to the capital just for some defense. I'll heal up. Well, I'll move this guy out, then I'll heal him up on the next turn. And now we can settle our second city. New York. New York, New York. What to build here? It'd be nice to build a monument, it'd be nice to build a builder, but I'm still a bit worried about Brazil's combat strength relative to mine. An archer would take a while to get out for starters, but a warrior would be pretty reasonable, so I think I'll build another warrior here. We're working the foxes, that's a great tile to work. The thing about Deity AI is you just don't want to underestimate their combat capabilities. You want to make sure you have a healthy amount of forces right at the start of the game to hopefully deter them, or if they do attack you, to fight them off, maybe take the fight to them. So we're still working on our faith for a Pantheon. We need 25. So I'll leave God King in, and I'm still happy to have the bonus against Barbarians. As you can see, we've just been found again. So we'll start moving our Slinger out. We're about to get our Archer. That Archer will help. But we'll keep doing what we're doing. Let's see. If we do that, we'll grow in 2 and produce in 1. If we do that, we'll grow in 2 and produce in 1. So we'll just do that. And we'll go for early Empire. Both of these cities should grow fairly quickly, so we should get early Empire, no problem. And I'll start moving this warrior down there to clear out that barb camp. And I said I was going to heal that one up, but oh, great. So we'll be able to settle one of these spots and get a double mountain adjacency at the very least for another campus. Kill that scout. Excellent. It's worth noting that these mountains do have high appeal, so we would like eventually to save these for national parks instead of using them for campus sites or holy site districts. I just realized that I have not been going for a religion, so even though I said that was going to be part of my plan, it looks like that will not be. I just got excited by that campus spot we had. And there hasn't really been a great location for a holy site anyway. We got surrounded by jungle. We could get a +1 to a holy site here. It just hasn't been a good religion spot. I haven't found any national wonders. So I'll probably count that out and just keep going with the science route instead. We will still nevertheless want to get out holy sites, a lot of them, and sooner rather than later, because we'd like to get as much faith as possible for national parks when the time comes. But I don't mind prioritizing science. As I was saying, we'd eventually want to save these for national parks, but at the start, we want to get our core cities up and running with all the yields we need, so that's what we're going to do. There's our boost to horseback riding. I think I'd like to get a trader. I could get some gold out of that. That'll help us buy other things, produce really rapidly. Just scouting around a bit more. Well, you're welcome for not building any wonders. He built Stonehenge, good for him. And I'll move there. Alright, if we settle there, we'll have access to the 2 mountains there. We could put maybe a commercial hub here. Or no, this would be a great holy site. And then we'd have +3 there and a +2 on that. Or with these 2 jungles, rainforests, campus, holy site. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll place that there, a holy site there, campus there. So they'll get +1 from the mountain, +1 from the rainforests, +1 from the 2 districts. This holy site will get +2 from the mountains, +1 from each of these districts, +3 for each of them. We'll want to settle that as soon as possible, but we'll also want to chop that down. And start moving this archer out just to put it in a nice defensive location. Maybe put the slinger out here, bust the fog up a little, and then on in the next turn. Now I will heal this guy up. Brazilian music. Okay, we'll chop that trader out. Where should we send him? Probably to Leon, just for the extra science. Science and gold, great. And we'll be able to put down our campus as soon as we research writing, which we already have the boost to. In the meantime, I'll already be able to upgrade this slinger to an archer. I think I'd like to get out one more, just to feel really safe against Brazil.
I thought Clay must feel happy.
Take one more hit. And that archer's probably where we want it. Maybe put him on the hill for a better vision. I think I'll come upgrade this slinger right away. And straight for riding, like I said. Work in both those tiles, that's excellent. Alright. Keep the scout from moving. So I'll take that bard camp. And I'll upgrade the slinger to an archer. Open those two. How many turns? 10 to 25 turns. And heal him up. Bring this guy back out. What are you doing, France? Are you coming at us? That would be foolhardy. Horses over there. I only see one warrior, so I doubt she's going to try to attack us. We will attack this scout, however. Alright, we built our warrior there. We could build a builder, improve those furs, get a camp going. We could build a monument. I think I want to build a monument just to get more tiles much faster. That'll save us money in the long run, so we don't have to buy any tiles. Still healing you. I want to walk out to defend this trader just a little bit, just to make sure it gets there safely. And there's our boost to machinery from having 3 archers. We can almost put down riding. I think I'll put a few turns into a settler. That'll be my next thing to build. Or... yeah. Well, I could get out a builder, so I think I'll get out a builder first. And then I'll put a farm down there. Put camps on there. Explore in with all my units. Seeing where that trader's going. Pedro finished hanging gardens. He's going for a lot of wine. That's fine by me. That just means I'll take him later. There's a camp.
Writing is easy.
Flooding
All you have to...
didn't hurt us. Alright, we want to lock in this price for this campus. So we'll put it down now, but we'll finish building our builder. Next, I think we'll go for sailing. I think I want to improve that crab, actually, before improving anything else. We'll also be able to get a quarry later for the boost to masonry. That's good. Yeah, so we'll tech for sailing. We got our Pantheon. Let's decide. We could, if we put holy sites on rivers, we could get a good bonus out of River Goddess. We're already putting one there. We could put another one there. That would be a good plan. We might also want to make this a production hub. We have that one strategic resource. Got a hill there. That's the only hill around. We got a hill there. We could put lumber mills, so we could put lumber mills there. Put the industrial there, an aqueduct, a dam. I think that's probably a good bet right away. So why don't we lumber mills, just to remind ourselves not to chop these down. So I'm planning to put this industrial zone here. We do want one industrial hub that will be able to produce the Eiffel Tower again on flat land adjacent to our capital. Is this flat land? Yeah, flat land adjacent, or not capital, city center. So I'm thinking about that right away. It'd be nice to have a strong industrial hub. Then again, this city doesn't have many mountains to begin with. It does have a lot of woods that we can put lumber mills on, but it might not be the best place for production. This city, on the other hand, doesn't have any surrounding flatland tiles. That won't work. This one has one. It also has quarries and hills. So this might be a decent city to put industrial zone in. Maybe here. We could put an aqueduct. No, we want that quarry. Oh, darn. The quarry and the horses together would make a strong industrial zone if we could put an aqueduct next to it. But an aqueduct, industrial zone, strategic, that wouldn't be so bad. Then we could put the Eiffel Tower there. All thinking about what we can do. Well, we'll keep that in mind as an option. We might not commit to it right away. But back to our Pantheon. Do we want to get +2 amenities, +2 housing? I'm not sure. This is always a good one. Divine Spark, get great people faster. We do have, not desert floodplains, just floodplains next to us. Culture for pastures, we have a couple pastures. +1 food production from camps. We have a couple camps. It doesn't look like we'll be getting lots of them. Culture from plantations. We'll have a couple plantations in range. There's one there. Things are fine, but not fantastic. I think I'm going to go for a slightly thematic choice. +2 faith from tiles with breathtaking appeal. We have a lot of rainforest around us, so we don't have a lot of breathtaking appeal immediately nearby. But the goal for Teddy is to get the Eiffel Tower, build national parks, get lots and lots of appeal. And if we get Earth Goddess now, it might take a while, but eventually when we have national parks, it'll help us really get a lot of faith. So I think I'm going to invest in that now and get Earth Goddess. We're not going for a religion. Just reminded myself, reminding you as well. Alright, and we can bring this archer down here. We can promote this warrior, so we shall. We can explore with this warrior. Oh, there is a lone settler. It might be the time to go to war, just to take that settler. If we can catch it. We might not be able to, but we will sure try. And I'm going to move my units down just to prepare for war, just in case. I mean, you never know if a war might occur when there's a settler on the loose. An elusive settler. Ancient era ending in 5 turns. Hopefully we can pincer it. We could also get a free builder if we initiate combat. Oh, He settled before we could take it. So we won't declare war right away. Troops are merely passing by. Of course, we didn't have any other intention. What could we possibly be thinking? These would all make for, all this appeal up here would make for some great national parks. They wouldn't be fantastic cities on their own, because they're deserts and mountainous and so on, but if we take out Lyon, we could settle around here and make sure we have some good national park spaces. A lot of choices of what to do around here. I think I'll just keep this builder in the capital for now. What are we working? Yeah, I'll go and improve that pasture. And 9 turns for that. Yeah, I'd like to get the campus down. Then when we get the card for colonization, that's when we'll pump out our settlers. And I said I would back off from the city, so I shall. Build the scout. Alright, it looks like France only has the one city near us. Hopefully they don't come out here and settle, and they'll keep them contained, which is where we'd like them to be. We are working great tiles. I like all these tiles quite a bit. Here. We're also working great tiles. We're about to get the spice. We'll probably switch to that. So let's just keep moving. A few more turns. We will not be getting a golden age, but a normal age is fine.
Vessels large may venture.
Alright, let's go improve that crabs. And do we have the goal to get to that one? If so, that will help us get harbors faster. 60, 155, we do, so I say we spend the gold on that and get the boost, which we otherwise wouldn't be able to get. What do we want to do next? Well, I'm thinking of going straight for Celestial Navigation. To get a harbor in here as soon as possible, just to at least set it down. Then again, great, we're working good tiles there. Then again, it'd also be nice to know where iron is, just so we can make smart settling decisions. So let's go for that. And we'll just leave that archer there. Move him inside. Move him back. Move him forward. I think I'd like to get a scout out of here next and send the scout through. We'll see if we can get some cheap open borders. Oh, I can't even get open borders yet. Next turn. I can't give them, I can receive them. But it'll be cheaper if I give them as well. Oh, where's that barb coming from?
Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell. And you
foresee the future too. Okay, we don't need the faith for the Pantheon anymore, so it's time to put in settlers. And we'll keep the combat strength against barbarians. Alright. Got there. Bring the archer that way. Bring this warrior that way as well. Bring you in. Bring you in. Move you forward. Bring you over to defend just in case. We'll be doing craftsmanship next. And as far as governors go, we could go Pingala. We're going to have some nice science in the capital. But I'd like to keep the capital growing as I pump out lots of settlers, and for that, it makes sense to go for Magnus instead. I don't need to keep this rainforest there. That's not providing any adjacency to the campus, so I'll probably chop that out, and maybe chop out some other things as we go along. Make room for farmland and other good stuff. Yeah, we'll be planning on chopping out lots of things, so I think Magnus is the right call. Whenever I don't have Magnus, I feel like I'm losing out, so I'll just go with that. And we'll be trying to go for the provision promotion so that we can not lose population when we produce settlers. But that is the classical era, so I'm going to end the stream for now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. I'm just starting out, so I'd love any and all feedback. Positive feedback is great, but so is constructive criticism. Again, thank you for watching, and have a good time. See you out there.